In Predictably Irrational, I presented this idea of self-herding. And self-herding is the idea that much like we follow other people, we look at what other people do, what restaurants they go, what kind of patterns they have, and we follow that, we also follow our own pattern. So behave once in a certain way, and the next time we come to a similar situation, we said, hey, I remember how I behaved before, this must mean that this is a good behavior for me, and let me follow it and follow it and follow it. In this case, we're expanding the idea of self-herding to think about the influences of emotion. So imagine the following. Imagine that I get you angry or happy. I get you angry by showing you a movie about something angry. I get you happy by showing you a movie about something happy. But similarly, you can imagine that you had something bad at work or something really happy at work, and then you come home. And the emotions from work is irrelevant. You meet your significant other, they are not the people who annoyed you or made you happy, but you have this caring emotion that started from earlier in the day. Now what happened? We find that when people have this basic emotion that accompanies them, they behave based on this emotion, even in new situations. So when people are angry and we give them to a new situation, they still behave like angry people, and they are not nice to other people. When people are unhappy, they come to a new situation, they become happier and nicer to other people. But what happened is that then they continue using the same behavior. So you were angry at work, you came home, you said something nasty to your significant other. This is not because she did anything or he did anything, it's because what you were carrying with you in kind of as an emotional residue. But now it turns out, not only do you behave nastily, you actually start creating a new repertoire of behavior. First of all, there's a chance they will do something nasty back and it will deteriorate. But even if that doesn't happen, now, based on this incidental emotion, irrelevant emotion, you start creating a pattern of behavior that can actually escort you for a long, long time. And what we show in the experiment is that we create this incidental emotion, it creates a behavior, and even when the emotion subsides and doesn't exist, chances are you will repeat this behavior again. So what is the key? The key is that emotion influences our decisions. Now, if we feel emotions and we do nothing, nothing bad could happen. The emotion will subside, it will go away, it will not have an influence on decision. But if we make decisions while under the influence of emotions, those decisions are going to become input for our next decision. The emotion can subside, but because we remember what decisions we've made, because we think the decisions we've made are good decisions, we're likely to repeat them over and over and over. So this, of course, is very clear in the domain of personal relationship, where you can imagine how when you feel angry, just really not the right time to make any decision, but it turns out it's everywhere. We get angry and happy at work, while driving, with our family, in social relationship, in all of those cases. And in all of them, it's really important to understand that irrelevant emotions from the background could influence how we decide, and those influences can influence not just the moment, they can actually have a long stream of consequences. And that's what we should try and avoid.